Welcome or welcome back to the CNC Advantage. I am Christy and this is Cooper, and we are here to bring you another reading for the Scorpios for the month of July. We have done the Celtic Cross, and I'm kind of changing things up again. Doing the weekly readings for all 12 signs was getting to be a bit much, and it wore me down, made me real tired. So we're changing the format to see if we can get more information for the entire month all in one reading. Okay, so that's the goal of today. All right, so let's get right to it. Your current energy has to do with the Empress in reverse. So you may feel that you're in a bit of a stagnant energy at this moment. Like things are not moving forward. Your new beginning that you've been hoping for, it's there, but it doesn't seem like it's within reach yet. You know, like something is prolonging it, or it's not going at the pace that you had hoped, is what I'm hearing. That maybe you're not connecting with your intuition as much as you were in the past. So maybe something's got you distracted, is what I'm hearing, right? Maybe you've been getting signs from the earth, from Mother Gaia, and you're not taking the time to give them merit, to look them up, to figure out how they play into your life. Maybe you're trying to go on all masculine side of how you do things, and you're not really balancing things out with your feminine side of feeling things, slowing things down, following your gut, your intuition, things of that sort. You're ignoring the emotions of things. They have water rushing over her shoulders there. Maybe you're not connecting with your emotions at this time. Maybe you feel that you're trying to protect yourself a bit, and staying guarded is not really in your best interest at this time. To connect with how you actually feel with things and stuff like that will help you a bit. What you have as far as a challenge right now is the Two of Cups upright. You feel that you're in a new love relationship and you're not sure you have what it takes to pour into the other person's cup. You feel like your cup maybe isn't full. Maybe you're doubting yourself. Maybe you're doubting what you have to give. So you're seeing this other person as, oh, I see, the Empress in reverse. You fear you're not enough for your new beginning. You want to pour into this other person's cup and you're just not sure how to do it. You're so used to pouring into other people in a masculine fashion. You take care of things, you show them safety, you show them security, you take control of the reins and you just guide them through it. But you're not quite sure how to do it in the feminine energy. It makes you feel vulnerable. It makes you feel like a fish out of water. Makes you unsure of yourself. That, you know, when you step into these vulnerable emotional states and stuff like that, it feels like unsteady, like an unsteady boat, right? It's rocking all over the place. You feel like you're all over the place. They they're responding to you in weird ways, not the ways that you had hoped and stuff like that. So when as you're stepping into from a strong masculine energy into the feminine, it's gonna feel uneasy. It really will. And that's okay. It's supposed to. Change is never easy. And balance is an ever evolving wheel, if you will, right? So sometimes it's just a matter of getting out of your own head and just being like, you know what? I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I'm just gonna allow my heart to pull me through this, right? To guide the way. So whatever feels right, I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna stop focusing on things that I focused on in the past because those didn't really work out for me. I'm not going to let everything go. Like, you're still going to pay your bills. You're still going to show up to work. You're still going to take care of your family. You're still going to do those things. But sometimes you get so in your head that you can't hear your heart. And that's where things are out of balance for you right now. Okay? So, what's going to help you step out of this? Things that you could focus on to help you step into this feminine energy more. You have the Ten of Swords here and the Ace of Pentacles. Now, typically, the Ten of Swords is a person laying there in the pool of their own blood with 10 swords in their back. This card is completely different. It is not even close to the same message, okay? So, I mean, just because you have the Ten of Swords, don't let that get in your head, alright? You have birds, which are messengers, right? Watching signs from nature, turning your back on the old ways and walking into a new doorway, a new way of doing things, a new way of life, a new spirituality, if you will, okay? That's why you have the Ace of Pentacles. This is going to feel brand new to you, but big, beautiful, grand, uh, like a miracle has been brought into your life, right? So stepping into this femininity is focusing on, or is focusing on how the things of the past don't have to be the ways that you have to do it in the future. There is a million ways to do one thing, and Spirit is asking you to look for a new way to get it done. To trust more, to offer what you have to offer, and just let that be enough. And see if they want it, you know. So this Two of Cups, right? You're worried about this Two of Cups, that you don't have enough to pour into it. Spirit is saying you are enough, baby. You are more than enough. Scorpio is amazing. And the fact that you guys are creative, you're innovative, you're loving, you're gentle, and yet you are firm and strong, and you stand in what you value. You stand up for what matters. But you don't have to force things as much as you used to, You can stand back and be like, this person hurt me like this, that person hurt me like that. I really miss this, I really miss that. But, I'm ready to just let all that go and not live in fear anymore. I'm not going to live in fear of these 10 swords anymore. I'm not going to live in the fear of their truth. I'm not going to live in fear of my truth. I'm just going to step into my brand new beginning and just let it be. Just go with it, right? This is what you can focus on. Letting go of all the hurt, the remorse, the anger, the, all these 10, whatever these 10 swords brought you. Look back at them and be like, I learned that I don't want that type of energy in my life anymore. And now I know how to recognize it. Now I know when someone is actually using me. Now I know when someone is taking advantage of my kindness. Now I know the red signs and the red flags to look for. And I'm going to call them out on it when I see those red flags. Or I'm just going to walk away and protect my energy, right? And step back into the masculine again, right? Fight or flight. But Spirit is asking you not to walk away from this. Pentacles are about new beginnings, and it takes work to step into them, right? It takes energy and the willingness to change, to make yourself emotionally available to them now. And it's all wrapped up in this giant pentacle, like a nice little gift, right? The energy that you're leaving from the past is the Eight of Swords. And you also got the World right along with it. So you might have felt like you were good on your own before this person came along. Right? That you had the World, that you were wrapping up a karmic cycle. But you also had the Eight of Swords. So in a way you were still trapped in some type of karmic cycle, or you were still trying to learn your lessons from said cycle. So you may have been in the pain and the suffering and all the things that came along from learning these lessons, right? You felt like you had something over your eyes, and yet you were being tied into knots. And all along, the birds here were trying to help you untie yourself. Dude, you're okay. Come on out. You're fine. Look at this whole time. You're not tied up. You don't have anything over your eyes. Open your eyes and see things as they truly are. And you were just so caught up in the emotional side of things, that your heart was broken over something, or you were played for the fool. That's what I'm hearing, right? You got played. And you're like, how could I possibly get played, And, the struggles that come along with that. So you're stepping out of a very difficult, challenging karmic lesson here. But it's the end of it here, right? You've wrapped it up. You've got the World. That is completion of a cycle. You're stepping into a new beginning. And there's love at the center of it. You have sacred geometry all around this, all around them on this card. You have the tetrahedron down here, which is your Merkaba. Oh, that looks like the decagon. Yeah, see, there's so many things more to be focusing on at this time, and starting to see that the simplicity of your brand new cycle doesn't need to be as complicated as you thought. You know that there are other forces at play. There's the 5D, you have the flower of life here, you have the circle enclosing your flower of life, that's protection, and you're standing in the middle of the entire thing, waiting for your new beginning. Stepping out of this hurt, tormented energy. The strengths that you can rely on for July is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Less work, more play. Learn to have fun in your life. To find new ways to have fun. To do new things, go on adventures, go on trips. Just to have, play games. Not mind games, just normal games, cornhole or cards or, things of that sort, right? Things that bring you joy, okay? I hear that you working so hard, it shouldn't be that hard, right? It shouldn't be this hard. So that means that you might be working against the flow of how things are meant to go next. So you're so used to this, but that doesn't make this path wrong, Just because you've always been walking this path doesn't make this path wrong. And you can switch paths. Try to find more balance in your life, kind of thing. There's something else I'm missing, you're saying. Pay attention to the moon cycles, is what I'm hearing. So we're coming up on the new moon here in a couple days. I know I'm recording this just before July because I'm trying to get them all in before July starts. But connecting with the cycles of the moon could be very important with you. Pay attention to the crescent moons, the new moons, the waxing, the waning, and the full moon. And prepare for each, right? So 2-3 days before the new moon comes, set your manifestations, your desires, work on those, work on your affirmations, work on releasing things with the full moon and stuff like that, and negative energies, anything from the past that no longer serves you. Start spending more time putting into something of a craft or a creative nature, something that might bring you joy. So maybe you like making things. Maybe you're a carpenter. I don't know. Maybe you like making art. Maybe you like making music. Maybe you like just making things with your hands. Well, so whatever that means, right? So to not work so hard against the grain. And start connecting with your spirituality a little bit more. Putting more work and effort into that is going to serve you at this time. So what's coming in your near future for July? We have the Two of Wands in reverse and the Four of Swords in reverse. A Four of Swords in reverse, you're not taking care of yourself. You're not putting enough into you to take care of someone else. That's why you might feel like your cup is a little empty right now. So maybe you're not nurturing your light, your soul, what you are within. Maybe you feel like you've been neglecting yourself for quite some time, your needs, your wants. Um, you're not getting enough rest. You're not eating right. You're not taking walks and connecting with nature lately. So you feel a little disconnected from yourself, right? And there's some type of choice here that you feel like you're struggling with. So you not taking care of yourself is making you feel tired and worn down. And when you start thinking about this choice that you have to make, you start feeling exhausted just by thinking about it, let alone taking action, right? You see that this choice can change your whole world, and even that, just the mere thought of that fucking scares the shit out of you. Why would that scare you when you know that your spirituality is intact and you know that you've been doing the work? So if you've been doing the work of taking care of yourself and connecting to your spirituality, the spirit's going to reward those things, right? But if you're not taking care of yourself, now you're starting to doubt it. You're starting to question it. You're like, oh no, could this be another karmic lesson? Do I feel like I want another karmic lesson? You know, you're allowing your fears and doubts and all that stuff to get in the way. When maybe it was just a good time to travel within yourself. I know that sounds funny, right? To explore the deepest parts of yourself. Will do you good in the future. How you truly feel about things. And to communicate those. It's okay to step into these vulnerable moments, things that make you feel exposed. If you're with the right person, as far as the Two of Cups, this person will not leave you hanging. They will step up to the plate and be like, don't worry, I got you. Where you feel that you're weak, I will fill your cup. Where I feel I am weak, you will fill my cup. And together we will move forward, filling each other's cups. And neither one of our cups will ever run dry again. That's how you know it's right. When the other person is like, I see you struggling, you need to work through it, until then I'm out of here. Then that means divine timing wasn't there. That means that they weren't ready to be everything you needed them to be. That should be a big red flag to you, kind of thing, right? Okay. Spirit says that's enough for that. All right, your advice from Spirit for July is the Nine of Wands. You shall persevere. So, all along your road, you've been collecting all these wands that everyone brought to you, and you collected them and you took them from them and said, no more. I'm moving forward. I don't want that in my life anymore. You can't use your wand against me anymore. I took your damn wand away and you can't touch me now. I'm going to stand here in my truth, in my light, and I'm going to hold on to my wand and I'm going to move forward. In your peace, in your serenity. You're not going to do it from a vengeful, manipulative energy. You're just going to do it from a peaceful energy. Just no more. I don't need it. And I'm good. I see what you are now. There's nothing I can do to change that. I'm just going to move on and do me. That's persevering, right? Learning your lessons and just doing what you can. Your energy, your environment for July, you came up with 2 cards instead of 1. You got the 2 of Swords in reverse and the Star in reverse. This tells me that you're not exactly happy, or things aren't going exactly the way that you had envisioned at first. You're second guessing some of your choices. And you feel a little bit stretched thin right now. That you have new obstacles coming your way and you're not quite sure how to deal with them. And you know that the answer is in your spirituality, right? But you're having trouble connecting to your inner self right now. So that's why you have your Star in reverse. Okay? It's not that your world is falling apart. Is the answer to moving forward is connecting to your spirituality. What does that mean? Connecting to your spirituality is what I'm hearing. Okay. I go to Spirit and I ask them specific questions and I'm not getting an answer back. I go to Spirit and I express gratitude for the things that are in my life and I'm not hearing anything back. Spirituality starts within you. So you're looking for your spirituality outside of yourself. It all starts in here with your light, with how you feel, your intuition, your peace, your health. When you are focused so inward on embracing those and repairing those and piecing them back together, or feeding your soul what it needs to be fed, right? That could involve reading, that could involve meditating, that could involve connecting with nature, maybe with animals, maybe with plants, right? Those things, when you start nurturing those things, then you're also nurturing what you are inside at the same time. So it's not that you're finding spirituality and external things. They are awakening what's already within you and helping you see that how you treat them is how you should be treating yourself. So if we go around and we pollute Mother Nature and this and that, then we're going to see what we get back in return. But if we go around and we see an injured animal and we nurture it back to health, that's what you should be doing for yourself right now. Nurture yourself back to health, back to a pure state, dropping all these fears, worries, doubts, the pain that you're carrying with you from your previous cycles, to let those go, to write them down, let them go, burn them, write them down, burn them with the full moon, release it, let it all go. Connecting with your spirituality. A great way is through meditation. Well, how I do mine is I listen to frequencies, and then sometimes there's ones on YouTube that actually have words where the guy will actually help guide your mindset to a new mindset. I'm connected to all that is, and all that is within me. The universe is not external to me, it is within me. My Christ consciousness is right there and I'm connecting with it. I am of light. I am of love. I am a pure being just trying to find my way. I accept myself as I am right now. I am enough. I am beautiful. I am loving. I am giving. And I deserve those in my life. So there's ways that you speak to you. It's almost like the way that you speak to your plants, and then they're like, oh, I like it when you speak nice to me, so I'm going to bloom real pretty for you, right? You need to do that for yourself. Point out all the things that you love about yourself and focus on that during your meditations. Okay? All right. Those are a few things you can start with. Okay? Next, we have your hopes and fears. You have the Queen of Wands in reverse. You just keep thinking you're not enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not sexy enough. You're not spiritual enough. You're not connected. You don't have the light that this other person has. You're comparing yourself to them. Now, if God made us all exactly the same, wouldn't we be bored as shit? You know? So maybe this other person is here in your path to be like, try this. Why don't you try that? Why don't you take a bath? Why don't you go swimming with me? Why don't we try something new? Maybe you should read something, maybe that'll help, it'll guide you, and read what you're drawn to. So don't just pick up something and read it, just because, Spirit to be like, what do you think about reading this? Maybe you might find this interesting right now. And that might pertain exactly to what there is in your life. 555 on the clock right now. Change is needed. And it is the only constant in life. So for you to feel like you're not enough right now, you can change how you feel about yourself. You can see that you are enough. But you can always learn to grow into more. If that's what you want. Right? If that's what you're ready for. If that's where your path is leading you to. You feel like your path is leading there and you feel like you don't have the capacity to learn these things, that's not true. You're not giving yourself enough credit. Oh, I got a funky twitch in my arm when I said that. You are enough. You have everything it takes to step into this. You are sexy, you are beautiful, you are very gifted. You just weren't aware of it. You were looking at yourself through very harsh glasses, and when the world looks at us, they look at us like we're 20% more beautiful than we actually are because of our light, because of our energy, the way we carry ourselves, our sense of humor. There's so much more that goes into it when they look at you, and then when you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, how could they ever love this? Well, that's what you're missing. You're missing what everyone sees in your character, in your demeanor, your light. It's those things that you're not seeing. So you keep thinking that you're ugly or that you're just not spiritual enough. That's just not true. You're just awakening to seeing things from a new perspective. Okay? Your potential outcome. Well, this is very good for you, especially with you having the Empress right out of the gate and the Two of Cups as your challenge card. You have the King of Cups for the potential of your outcome. You have everything you need to pour into this other person's cup and to pour into your own cup, right? You are a sensual, caring person, and you have a lot of emotions that you have learned to control over the years. You see the potential for the future, and you're ready to nurture it. Not force it, nurture it. Oh, got bad weather moving in. A little bit of thunder going. Don't be looking over your shoulder at the past and be like, I don't know, maybe they're this, maybe they're that. They are not what you dealt with in the past. The Two of Cups wouldn't be here otherwise. They want to pour into you. They want to help you. You need to be open to receiving it. And as the King Cups knows how to give love and to receive love. So you're going to step into the King Cups energy by going through July. Okay? You also have two cards that came out upside down, so we're going to find out what those were together. Okay? You have the Seven of Cups in reverse and the Page of Cups in reverse. Well, you got a few cups here. You got the King Cups upright, you got Seven of Cups upside down, and you got the Page of Cups upside down. Got Two of Cups here. You got a lot of Pentacles as well. Pentacles there, there. You got a few swords of what you're leaving behind. Right? Okay, we're going to read these. King of Cups is stepping out of the illusions. So before you felt like you had a lot of options, right? So maybe you were kind of playing the field for a bit and just enjoying the variety of life, trying to find a cup that fits just right. And you're going to step away from all the illusions, you know, of what you thought that one was and what you thought that one was. And you're going to find out that you didn't need all of them. You just needed the right one. And you're going to be more focused on no more illusions, no more games, no more, you know, looking for the devil and this and that, right? You're going to be able to relax and just focus on this new great beginning, this new love. Page of Cups in reverse is telling me that you need to keep the lines of communication open, especially when it comes to how you feel about things. Also, how the other person feels about things too. So just because how the people felt about things in the past doesn't mean that this future person is going to feel the exact same ways as who you were with before. And so you can't just assume that this is how they think, this is how they feel. You need to ask them. Open up those lines of communication. When I say I love you, how does that make you feel? When I do nice things for you, does that make you uncomfortable? Or what goes through your mind when I give you flowers? What goes through your mind when I leave and go to work in the morning? What goes through your mind when we make love? How do you feel about, you know, when we talk about difficult things? Do you feel that I pour into your cup enough? I mean, so discuss the tough things with them. The things that are on your mind. The things that are on their mind. And be open to a new perspective. That you don't know everything, but you're willing to learn. You're willing to grow with this person so you guys can grow together. Now, there's a pig flying in this, all right? That does not mean, it's almost like the illusion card there. You're not communicating things that are imaginary or illusions or smoke and mirrors, you know. Those are a thing of the past now, because if this person is right for you, they're not going to try and manipulate you. They're not going to try to control you. They're not going to keep track of you, okay? They're just going to let you be as you are. And as you show up, they're going to be like, hey, this fits pretty good. I'm kind of liking how this goes. But they're not going to sit there and cover themselves in shit and then call it rain. There's no games, there's no illusions. They're just going to show up as they are, and they're going to be like, take it or leave it. Okay? So what you can do at this time is to stay grounded, connect to your emotions, connect to their emotions, and communicate as clear as you possibly can. Ask questions when you need them. You're like, I hear you, but I don't fully understand what you're saying. There's nothing wrong with that. And then allow them to explain, you know. So don't take the floor. Just be like, I don't get it, and let them talk. Be open to it. Okay. All right. That's all I've got for now. If you like this video, please like, share it as you feel divinely led. Leave a comment below if this resonates, or tell me how it resonates. Anything that you want to say to get off your chest, and you know, I'm here for you, and I do read through the comments as often as I can, and I try to help as much as I can, as I'm divinely guided as well. So please like, share, subscribe. It does help out the channel, and until next time, you guys.